Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Learning Room. This is Lecture 11 of our crash course in morphology. In this lecture, we will explore the different approaches to morphology, which are the various ways linguists analyze and explain the internal structure of words. By the end of this lecture, you will be able to compare these approaches, understand their strengths and limitations, and see how they contribute to the broader study of morphology. So let's begin. Approaches of morphology refer to different theoretical frameworks or perspectives that linguists use to analyze and explain the internal structure of words, word formation processes, and the relationship between form and meaning. In simple words, we can say an approach is how linguists choose to study and explain morphological structure of a language. There are different approaches which focus on different aspects like rules, patterns, meaning, mental representation, or usage. Let's unpack them one by one. There are three principal approaches to morphology, and each tries to capture different aspects. On first, we have morpheme-based morphology, which makes use of an item and arrangement approach. And on second, we have lexeme-based morphology, which normally makes use of an item and process approach. And lastly, we have word-based morphology, which normally makes use of a word and paradigm approach. Now we will talk about first approach, and that is morpheme-based approach. We call it morpheme-based approach because words are analyzed in terms of their smallest meaningful units, called morphemes. This approach follows what is called the item and arrangement model, where each morpheme is treated as an individual item, and morphology studies how these items are arranged to form words. In other words, a word is seen as a structure made up of multiple morphemes combined together in a linear order. In its simplest form, this approach assumes that morphemes are placed one after another in a sequence, just like beads on a string, forming a complete word. However, this model is considered somewhat basic because not all words in language can be easily broken down into clear, separate morphemes. The main focus of morpheme-based approach is on how words can be broken down into smaller, meaningful parts. We call this process segmentation, which means dividing a word into its smallest units. Another key idea is linear structure. This means morphemes are analyzed in a fixed order, showing how they are arranged one after another inside a word. Most importantly, this approach treats morphemes as the minimal meaningful units in language. A morpheme is the smallest part of a word that still carries meaning or grammatical function. Let's take an example here. Take the word unhappiness. It can be segmented into three morphemes: un plus happy plus ness. Each of these parts contributes meaning to the whole word. Un shows negation. Asterisk happy asterisk is the base meaning, and ness turns it into a noun. So, in this approach, the focus is not just on the whole word, but on how each small unit contributes to meaning and structure. Plus one. Now we will find out strengths and limitations of this approach. One major strength of this approach is that it is very clear and systematic. It provides a structured way to break words into smaller, meaningful units, which makes analysis easier, especially for beginners. Another advantage is that it follows a linear structure, meaning morphemes are arranged one after another in a predictable sequence. This makes it easy to represent word structure visually. It also works very well for regular morphology, where words are formed in predictable ways, for example, adding ed for past tense or s for plural forms. However, this approach has some important limitations. It struggles with irregular forms, where words do not follow clear patterns. For example, go cannot be easily explained by simple morpheme arrangement. It also has difficulty handling non-concatenative morphology, where word formation does not involve simply adding morphemes in a linear sequence. In such cases, the idea of morphemes being arranged like beads on a string does not fully capture how words are actually formed. That's all for today's lecture. The lexeme-based approach and word-based approach will be covered in the next lecture. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for the next lecture.